Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another quick Guild Ball catch-up. Today we have Hunters versus Masons, and I drew these cards. Stick to the plan, Grudge Match, Dig Deep, Set it to the Crowd, and Lone Striker. For terrain, the field is pretty sparse, with an obstacle, and fast ground. I lost the roll-off, my opponent chose to receive, and so I am kicking with a team of Veteran Minx, Original Hearn, Zarola, Theron, Jakar, and Fahad. The ball was on Theron, and he's kicked off over here. And facing me is Flint, Brick, Hammer, Marbles, Veteran Chisel, and Veteran Harmony. Still struggling with deployment a bit. I'm finding the team really wants to be quite bunched up in the centre due to Veteran Minx, Zarola, and Jakar being a unit. With Veteran Minx's Blessing being the one I want to put on Zarola, and Theron and Hearn being a unit. Doesn't give me a lot of options for spreading out. But this is what I did. I kicked with Theron, as I said, and I didn't go too far forward because I'm wary of Hammer. And I want to kick it towards the model. I think he will want to try to score a goal with first turn if he can, which is Flint in this case. And I do this because I'm trying to force him to get the ball with that striker so that he can't pass the ball down the line to the striker and move him up and then get him into position to score. And with any luck, he'll end up somewhere in range for me to start beating on him first turn. Unfortunately, the ball scatters a bit too far, and I'm not sure I can actually grab it. Maybe I could. That's about 8 inches, isn't it? So, yeah, maybe I could have got it. Obligingly, Flint collects the ball, but doesn't stick around. He goes himself back to the deployment line, passing the ball to Hammer, and I make a bit of a bad play. I should have gone with Fahad and just waste some activations, but instead I go way too aggressive with Theron, move him up, or place his forest down within 8 inches of Hearn, and walk him around so he can just see and be within range of Hammer. I put Sunstrike on Theron, I shoot Hammer with a snipe, generating momentum. As he's got such low defense, I don't bother bonus timing the pinned and get it. I use Theron's heroic play. I was planning to shoot Flint and put out another snare, but I didn't fancy... Well, Hammer was just too tempting a target, so I shot him again. Obviously, my opponent is not going to give me the opportunity to move Theron back and away with Midnight Offering. So he passes the ball to Veteran Chisel, dodging forward, uses his passing momentum to glide over the forest and get into Theron. So I didn't move Theron up so rashly, entirely unthinkingly, because I'm kind of curious if I can lure him out, kill him early, and see if that will take him out of the game for a bit. So Theron is stood in cover, he defensive stance is the charge, and Hammer knocks him down and beats him pretty savagely, I think leaving him on something like 7 wounds. It certainly was a risky play. By the end of the turn, things look like this. Hammer pushed Theron all the way back over here, trying to get him into the ranks of the Masons all alone. I used Minx to Blessing Zarola and walk up to engage Hammer. The Masons started to set up their countercharge aura by going forward with Brick, but the forest allows Hearn just to teleport in, engaging Brick, and Hearn starts taking lumps out of Hammer. The monkey gets up quite far, trying to put its countercharge threat out, and Jakar decides that since there's nothing else that's really going to be attacking me this turn, it might be a good opportunity to get rid of that monkey. So Zarola moves him up forwards, and he goes in, deletes Bubbles or Marbles or whatever it's called, or 1 point to the Hunters, and then back to the Shadows in to engage Hammer, using some momentum to stand up Theron. And then I think the rest of the Masons come along to try to help out Hammer. And quite liking the fact that the ball is here, as that should not be too difficult, a forest hop and a shot from Hearn. I'm ahead on momentum and I don't want to use my 7, but I do want to guarantee the first turn, so I play Set it to the Crowd, and my opponent plays Seize the Initiative. Which is a bit of a pain, because I'd set things up nicely so that Hammer would be at -3 tack, whoever he goes for. But I figure it can't be helped, and I'd like to get Theron a little bit to a little bit more safe position. So I dodge Theron around to this side, back into cover, and kind of which allows Hammer to dodge back out, I think, over this way somewhere. I activate Theron, Sunstrike, Sniped, Pin, Heroic Snipe at Hammer, and then run around behind the rock. This wasn't so I made another mistake play here, I feel. As I said, I was looking at the ball being over here and Hearn being able to jump and go get it. So I placed the forest over here in the center of the pitch. I do use momentum to heal Theron, but it's not going to be enough if Hammer just wants to charge in and get him. At the time, I was thinking if Hammer goes for Theron, then sure, yeah, he kills him, but then he's going to be out over here, and I can just move the rest of my guys over to the other side of the pitch over the course of the turn and take him out of the consequence next turn. Really, I should have just put my forest here and stopped Hammer from being able to do anything this turn. As it is, I get lucky. My opponent goes with Chisel. Looks like she passes to Flint, moves in to engage my guys, putting up her assist. This enables J-Car to go. I attack Chisel, or I walk around, attack Chisel. I think she counterattacks and I dodge out into Hammer. I attack him, he counterattacks, I dodge out into Chisel. I attack her, dodge back, gut and string him, drop a trap, and then back to the shadows away, engaging Chisel to provide some crowd outs for Hearn. Pretty happy with that activation. Hammer's going nowhere now. As the turn progresses, Minx and Hearn start bullying Chisel, getting her pretty low on health, and so Veteran Harmony is now taking damage to stop her from dying. Which is fine because hitting Veteran Harmony is a ball ache, and she's clearly going to be the next target. So whittling away both of them at the same time is fine. Flint passes the ball to Hammer, and Hammer dodges further away from my team. I'm not sure why my opponent did this. Perhaps it was the damage mounting up, or the just wanting to get away from Theron and his annoying stuff. He very quickly realised this was a mistake and that he should have tried to get Hammer in and start using that influence. It happens. We're going to turn 3. I've got so much momentum I can win with Dig Deep, so I get a nice extra influence, and my opponent plays Keep Your Chin Up. Rather appropriate. I go with J-Car, kill Chisel, dodge into Harmony, leave her on 1 or 2 wounds, drop a trap, and then back to the shadows to safety. Hammer goes and gleefully charges Hearn and annihilates him with extreme prejudice. I definitely had that coming. Sort of thought Hearn might survive that on full health, but nope. That is one angry Hammer. In hindsight, it might have been better to go with Theron and pin Hammer again, or hit Chisel, dodge out, run round to Hammer, gut and string him, and then punch Harmony and whatever just to dodge back around and then get away, obviously leaving a trap behind for Hammer. But hey ho, it's more points on the table, so we're now at 3 to the Hunters, 2 to the Masons. Minx goes, and I forget to put Blessing of the Sunfather on Zerola. Maybe I was out of range to do it. Yeah, it looks like I might have been out of range to do it. Inefficient, and she goes and finishes off Veteran Harmony. 5-2. The Masons start developing their countercharge aura bubble again, with Brick also coming around over here, knocking down J-Car and doing a little bit of damage. I think Flint mostly stays where he is, and at the end of the turn, Theron just moves in to start shooting arrows and snaring guys. We go to turn 4. I play Grudge Match, and my opponent plays Wingbacks. I single out Flint, he singles out J-Car. I go first with J-Car, standing him up, dodging and hitting my way through Hammer, or through Brick to Hammer, then off into Flint, and then dodging back to the shadowing away over here to make things awkward. Pretty sure Hammer goes next, and looks to settle his vendetta with Theron, who's healed himself pretty much to full by now. And Hammer utterly whiffs. He really, really flubs this hard. I think because I managed to get a double dodge counter with Theron. It was absolutely brutal. So Theron, thanking his stars, runs in and kills Flint in what was a major oversight for both of us, because he's walked into a double countercharge aura, which both I and my opponent missed until Flint was dead and whatever else had happened. I did offer to go back and redo it, and my opponent very graciously said, play on. If I'd been thinking a little bit more carefully, I could have sprinted Minx in to engage both the countercharge dudes, before going after Flint, but then that could have, I don't know, maybe that could have meant he could have gotten a goal. Who knows? 7-2 to the Hunters, and I finish off Theron's activation by sniping away or pinning Chisel, setting her up for Minx, who goes in, tying up both Chisel and Harmony and beating Chisel to her last couple of wounds. We go to turn 5. My clock is very low at this point. I play Stick to the Plan. My opponent plays Go for the Knees. I go with Theron, charge Harmony and kill her, and then shoot Chisel and kill her, making the score 11-2, and I clock out during my activation, making the score 11-3 when I finish it. Last turn, Harmony did manage to get the ball up over here to hammer, but as the monkey is in a rather perilous position, with both Fahad and Jakar in range to go for him, he prudently scampers to safety towards my models that have no influence allocated and to hide behind his big friends, whereupon Hearn activates and skewers him with a blessed spear, ending the game 12-3 to the Hunters. That was a good game, my second with Theron, and I think I learnt quite a lot from this. Pinned is really good. I need to get better at placing the forest and not being so aggressive with Theron, and remembering countercharge. That gets me every time. We re-racked and went again after this. My opponent changed to Honor, and he beat me fairly comfortably, like 12-4 or something. I had a pretty horrendous turn 1, missing every shot with Theron on Flint, but after that I built my scrum badly, walked into more countercharges, and man, veteran Chisel beefing up Honor is pretty mad. I think she scored a first turn goal with superior strategy and herself just running the pitch and scoring, and then like single-handedly pretty much wasted my center, doing 4 or 5 damage a pop. And even when I did manage to pin or nullify something, either Honor or Chisel just swapped the influence around. It was super good. Really impressed by Honor, and it's a shame I didn't take pictures of that game. And I definitely rate Honor into Hunters. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.